Hello and welcome, my Libra friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be a group reading for October Mercury Retrograde for my Libra friends. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we just exited and finished off a Mercury Retrograde, and here we go again for a new one. I'm not going to get into what Mercury Retrograde is. There's a lot of websites out there that talk about the science and the effects of Mercury Retrograde. What this video is really going to be about is looking at mapping out what Mercury Retrograde looks like for my Virgo friends, and then also some strategies for overcoming these challenges that are going to be presented to you. We can't control how Mercury Retrograde impacts our lives. However, we can control how we respond to it. And that's a big part of this, is knowing what's going to happen and then also being able to check in and really contemplate on how we react. The deck I chose for this reading is the Tarot de la Nuit, the Tarot of the Night, and I will end off the session with an oracle blessing from the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. Like always, there are links below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Alright, my Libra friends, let's see what the cards have to say. What card symbolizes the Mercury Retrograde for my Libra friends? Okay, you have two jumpers here. The first one is the Seven of Wands. Sevens are a conflictual number. They're a challenge, yet they're victorious. Sevens are a lucky number. They end in victory. Wands are about that inner power, or passion and fire. You're gonna really feel like you need to justify and defend yourself over the next 3 weeks because you're going to feel threatened. That's not always the case. With the Mercury retrograde, there's communication issues everywhere. That defense and need to fight and challenge and be victorious kind of needs to be checked into. That's going to be a major issue for you throughout Mercury retrograde. The second card that jumped out was the Sun. The Sun is the 19th card in the Major Arcana, and it speaks about happiness and joy. That hope. And that's going to be an important piece. No matter how frustrated and how overwhelmed you feel, things are going to look better or feel better when you really embrace that Sun's energy. That Sun lightens things up a lot for you. Let's break down Mercury retrograde. Let's look at this on a weekly basis. What does the first week of Mercury retrograde look like for my Libra friends? Ace of Pentacles. Aces are that gift. Pentacles about growth and abundance. The first week brings about a lot of instability and unbalancedness in your life. That ace really kind of gives that feel of kind of lopsidedness to that week. Let's look at the second week. What does the second week bring and look like for my Libra friends for the Mercury retrograde? And that's the Two of Cups. Twos are about duality and choice. Cups about that relation, or about emotion and intuition. The Two of Cups is known as the lesser lovers. They're all about relationships. No matter how much joy and love we have, Mercury retrograde does a number on relationships. That second week is not a week that you want to really focus in on making relationship changes or additions. Kind of let things wait. Major changes don't have to happen in a relationship right away. Hold things off. Also, when you're looking at relationships, that emotion piece is going to be running wild. There's going to be a lot of struggle and conflict come up. It's going to be taking that reality check and using the sun, the strength, that love and light, really reflect into those emails, those texts, those whatevers, those calls when you're dealing with your relationships. Let's look at the third week. What does the third week of Mercury retrograde look like for my Libra friends? Okay, we have a couple jumpers again. Oh, interesting. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Eights are all about that movement and manifestation. Pentacles, again, were about growth and abundance. What's interesting is that its counterpart was the Eight of Cups. So again, we have that movement and manifestation. The Eight of Cups talks about that need to go inwards. Your movement needs to go inwards. That Pentacle piece tells you not only do you need to go inwards, but you need to be very grounded, because this instability the Ace is creating, it's going to flow throughout these 3 weeks. That instability and unbalancedness is going to cause this inner journey to be harder. Mercury retrograde is going to have problems with your relationships. In that third week, you're really going to want to kind of end it off on that inner journey. The instability and unbalancedness that the Ace of Pentacles brings will follow through. So will this relationship stuff. And that's why that inner journey is going to be really important on the third week. That balancing piece and really connecting into the earth and grounding yourself is going to be really important. We've got double eights here, so we have that kind of yin and yang. We need to balance ourselves and ground ourselves while we go inwards. That's going to be an important part of the third week. All right, let's look at, we know that what is going to happen over the 3 weeks. Let's look at what strategies and tools and things that we can do to kind of ease that and overcome those challenges. What can my Libra friends do for the first week to kind of combat and overcome the Ace of Pentacles? The Six of Swords. Sixes are all about that harmony and balance. And that balance piece is really going to be important when you're overcoming the instability that that Ace is going to bring you. We're also going to kind of get out of our heart and head. The Wands is really about that inner fire and drive. We need to get out of those feelings and get into that knowledge piece. That way you can totally reflect into what it is that the weeks are giving you. That balance of yourself and balancing out emotion and that crazy kind of chaotic feeling with knowledge will help you overcome that first week. Let's look at the second week. What can my Libra friends do to overcome the challenges brought about by the Two of Cups in the second week in Mercury retrograde? We go on to the Six of Wands. Again, more balancing. This time, instead of working from your heart, you need to work from those passions, that strength. That strength is going to help you overcome those challenges brought on by people in that relationship challenge. Now, we're looking at double sixes here. In angel messages, double sixes talk about balancing your thoughts between physical and spiritual realms. And that's going to be really important. Like I said, the Ace here is really going to topple and cause lots of instability and unbalancedness in your life. That stabilization of energies and balancing will be really important. Now, I didn't touch on this. We have double eights. I had said that, but I didn't tell you what the angel message was with the double eights. When you see double eights, you need to stay true to your passions. And that's so true here. Let's look at what you can do to help overcome the challenges of the third week. And the third week doesn't bring you a lot of challenges. However, it brings about more questions. But what can my Libra friends do to overcome challenges and answer some of the questions raised in the third week? That's the Four of Pentacles. Fours are a foundational number. They're about stability. Pentacles about abundance and growth. What's going to help kind of ease some of the questions and kind of give you more of a guidance, making sure you're grounded and making sure that it follows through on the structures that you've been creating so far. You don't want to dive into areas that are really unknown, that are kind of off in left field. You want to kind of stay with the same themes that you've been working on over the past couple of months. Let's look overall. What can my Libra friends do to overcome the global challenges that Mercury retrograde is going to pose for you? It's the Nine of Pentacles. Nines are about all that hard work, all that you've achieved in your life. Pentacles are about that growth and abundance. This is about all that you've achieved. You need to use all the skills, all the abilities, and especially all that nurturing energy that you have and you've been excreting on others. You need to reverse it and bring it back into yourselves. You need to bring it into that grounding pentacle and allow that nurturing love to be kind of shared amongst yourself as well. That will help overcome some of the challenges that you're feeling there. Let's look at what other information that will help my Libra friends through Mercury retrograde. I think I said this already. Balance and energy flow. This is Temperance. She's the 14th card in the Major Arcana, and that's what she talks about. Balance and energy flow. That importance of maintaining that balance between the physical and the spiritual realms, but also that energy flow. Your chakras need to be in line. You really need to be, again, that self-care and love and healing will really help you on your journey through Mercury retrograde. Okay, let's look at what your shadow card wants to add. The Eight of Swords. So your shadow self is reminding you that that knowledge can pen you up. Be careful of what you're carrying forward. This journey can give you a lot of knowledge. However, some of it is going to be wound up in emotion. We like to attach emotion to knowledge. The swords themselves are not hard to deal with. That knowledge piece isn't hard. A plus B equals C is not a hard situation. It's how we've attached emotion to situations that make it hard. That's going to come up. The Eight of Swords, there's not a lot of movement and manifestation in the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords historically is a woman who's all bound up and she has a blindfold on and she's penned in by 8 swords. It can easily be overwhelming to deal with this, especially on top of Mercury retrograde. However, this is a perfect time. The energies on the 3rd week will be a perfect time to go inwards and do that inner work for yourself. Just be mindful of the emotions that it brings up. That energy flow and nurturing will really be helpful on dealing in that inner journey. All right, my Libra friends, let's look at a blessing. What blessing, got a jumper, do my Libra friends have for this Mercury retrograde? Frog Prince, heed wise counsel, listen. It's important that you're going to be careful who you're listening to. That relationship piece, especially in the 2nd week, is going to be a challenge. There's going to be a lot of conflict there. The wise counsel part is really important. Ensure you're checking in and make sure you're coming from a place of light and love, and that you're checking in regularly so that you know whether or not the counsel that you're receiving, the information that you're receiving, is for your greater good. For those who wish, you can pause the video here and reflect on the cards. This is a group reading, however, these cards were meant for my Libra friends. What further information do the cards hold for you? Like I said, this is a group reading. If you're looking for a more personal or specific reading, you can follow the link below and schedule a private reading with myself. For those who are interested, I will be running online introductory and interactive classes over the next couple of months. My first class is on November 11th, where I'll be running my Introduction to Angels and Archangels class. Then, on December 9th, I'll be running my Introductions to Connecting, which is a channeling class. If you're interested in both or either of these classes, you can find out more information and register on my website. I've provided a helpful link below to my classes page so you can go directly there to check things out. I hope you found this video fun and helpful, and that you're able to get some direction and insight into what Mercury retrograde is going to be challenging you with. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I will continue to create fun and dynamic videos for my zodiac friends. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please leave it below. I'm always up for feedback from my friends. If you liked this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. You never know where I'm going to go next, and I'd really hate for you to miss a video. Also, if you like this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Libra friends.